Okay, in this lesson we're going to continue doing what we were doing in the last lesson, which is kind of refining the torso. Let's at this point, two things we're going to do. We're going to actually go into perspective distortion. We're going to turn that off so that we can see a little bit more realistically what we're doing. There we go. If you didn't already have that turned off, and we're going to change our material also. This red wax, it's nice for seeing everything you're doing, but it's a little bit too just too crazy for me. I don't like it, so change it to this matte cap white or matte cap gray. It gives us a little bit more of a natural shading of what our skin would look like. Okay, so let's go in and smooth together what we were doing before. All these muscles and stuff, we don't really want to see all these striations. Okay. BST is standard brush. That's a little bit of like a softer look. Oh, you see that little line right there? That's lazy mouse. You could turn that off with L. And it also changes this kind of the strength. But I kind of like lazy mouse because it gives you smoother lines. So this looks a little wide to me. I want to kind of narrow it down. Let's go back to clay buildup. We're just really refining here. Sometimes if these are defined, you could see a little doubling effect right there. And I want to continue, this is also depending on the person, but I want to continue this. Let's go back to BST, standard brush. Just make it a little smaller. And kind of continue this. This is something we're going to want to do at like a higher subdivision level later when we detail out this body. Another thing to note is that we could put a lot of detail in right now, but for what we're doing here was we're posing this character. We don't want to get too crazy with the detail because a lot of that stuff's going to change once we pose it. A lot of it's going to get shifted around. So what we want to do is just put in like the basic shapes. Just get it looking right. And then when we start posing it later, we'll be able to really like fine tune. A lot of the body shifts around when you start putting it in different positions. That's one of the hardest things about anatomy. So here's the lats, which is like the big back muscles. And then the serratus, which are the kind of the little riblets. Little muscles that kind of go in between the ribs. And one of their functions is to actually raise the shoulder blade. It's kind of confusing, but you won't necessarily see all those. I just like to hint at them and kind of mark them down a little bit. just so we have a little feel that they're there. Okay. These are looking a little boxy. So think of these as, again, bags, weight kind of falls to the bottom. But for now, let's turn on our reference, turn off perspective, and kind of see how we're lining up with our reference here. It looks all right. Looks like I put my belly button down way too low. So I'm going to use my move tool to move that up. Hopefully that's subtle enough. Okay. Make these a little bit wider. Here we go. Let's turn that floor off. Turn perspective back on. Let's see what we got. So we got to correct that a little bit now. Okay. So we have a lot of pixelation right here. If you hold down smooth and then hold down shift and then let go of shift, it'll actually go into like a different smoothing algorithm, which helps with a lot of that kind of jaggy stuff. I don't like what that movement did to my torso. But we can fix it. And this is good practice when you mess up your model. Going back in and fixing it, that's just more practice. Okay, that's looking right. I want to dig this in a little bit more. There we go. You know, I'm looking at this. It feels like the belly button could be a little lower. Not totally sure, but that is actually the right place for it. Let's go to BDS, B Damien Standard, and kind of draw that in there. So we could smooth that out later and give it a little bit more detail. It's a good way to put creases. It's probably way too much crease, but let's go back to BCB. Okay. So this is starting to look right to me. I like when all these forms just kind of flow together. That's what I'm going for with this character. Okay, let's stop here and continue with this in the next lesson.